What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Jared's Books. I am Jared, and I'm super pumped to bring you this video. First things, just got back from a family vacation, just a couple of days. I took off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from work, so try to make an extended weekend. Took the kids down to the Schlitterbahn water park in New Braunfels, Texas. If you've never been or don't know what it is, you should definitely check it out. I think it's the number one rated water park in the country, and it's so big. It's two full-sized water parks that you can tram with a bus between. And I know it's home to the best water slide, the Master Blaster in the entire United States. It's awesome. Then there's like a bunch of tube chutes, and the older part of the park runs off of I think it's the Comal River. Yeah, I could be wrong. It might be the Guadalupe, but it's definitely fed with one of the natural rivers right there in New Braunfels, Texas. It's awesome. It's a beautiful part of Texas, a hill country. Here's a photo of our room from the balcony. Uh, it's got the river in the background, and you can see those crepe myrtles, those plants right there. They do really good in the Texas heat, and they really shine. And it's just a good time. We did it for 2 consecutive days, back to back water park days with a 5-year-old and an 11-year-old, and it was intense. And everybody's super wiped out. I drove back today, and if it wasn't for the massive amount of caffeine I had this morning, I don't think I'd be doing this video. But now I'm trying to counterbalance that with a recess, and I'm pumped to bring you this book review. I usually don't read books as fast. For anybody that watches the channel, and that's another thing, I just hit 50 subscribers. I'd really like to thank everybody that's a subscriber to the channel and watches the book reviews. I really appreciate it. I like talking about books. The discourse in the comment section is picked up, and that's great. Like, that's what I like. Like, let's all talk more about it. And it's been really fun, and I like doing it. So for everybody that knows, I usually take a little longer to read books. I got a full-time job. I've got 2 small kids. I like to put in like 50 pages a night, which typically takes me somewhere around like 2 hours on average. Sometimes I can only get in an hour. If it's a nonfiction read, I'm going to read it a lot slower because I want to be able to digest it. And I don't read multiple books at a time like some other booktubers and stuff like that. And for me, it's not a competition. Like I see some pretty crazy numbers like, oh, I read 52 books this year and I read 68 books. Like, I don't care. I don't think anybody else cares. Plus, how much of that did you enjoy, or are you just doing it for like a YouTube accolade and not doing any of that? So, sorry, a little bit of a tangent. Let's get into what matters. No pun intended. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I heard about this book off of another channel, Ian Gubelli. If you haven't checked out his channel, I'll put a link in the description below. Definitely check him out. He's a very entertaining guy, and he's got good taste in books. Dark Matter, Blake Crouch. I mean, when they came up with the term page turner, they were talking about books like this. This book is a scientific thriller that his writing style, the way that he breaks down his writing, the way that he, like the actual format of paragraphs and sentences, it is put together so you end up reading this book at like a breakneck speed. It makes it so easy to read. It's from a very present first person point of view, which at first I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like it. And then you really get sucked into it. I mean, really sucked into it. So the premise of the story is you're following the main character, Jason Dessen, and he at one time was a pretty up and coming physicist, quantum physics, and that kind of thing. And he was working on some pretty cool stuff. And then his life took a turn. He met his future wife, who was an aspiring artist at the time. They got pregnant. They had a family, and he ended up, going on to live a pretty fulfilling life with being a professor at a smaller college. And then I can't remember really what she did. I think she was like a stay-at-home mom and worked on her art and that kind of stuff. Um, this book, then he gets kidnapped and thrown into an alternate dimension where he never met his wife. or he met his wife, but they never went through with the baby. So all the decisions have been altered, and he's freaking out. There's a lot of chase scenes in the very beginning, I would say. That's the only drawback I could see of the book. It being kind of like it's almost like an action book for quite a while. But he goes back to this other dimension, and then he's trying to get back. The whole premise is he's trying to get back to his reality. And what starts happening is he ends up traveling the multiverse. So this book, if you like the theory of the multiverse, of alternate realities taking place at the very same time as ours, you're gonna love this stuff, and I love that kind of stuff. So he goes on a tour of the multiverse via this invention that his alternate self has created in this different reality, and he basically gets to go see what his different decisions have led to. Like they're going into multiple different dimensions because they're trying to find his right dimension so he can get back home. And I don't want to spoil anything. Um, the book is mainly about your life decisions. So like each decision that you're making right now leads to an alternate reality. And it's a pretty cool concept. It's the book I found, and I finished it up like the last 2 days on vacation with my family, and it made me really take stock of my life and my family, and I found myself feeling very grateful being around them, and feeling a lot more present in the moment when I was with my kids at the water park, or even when we were just relaxing back at the hotel room after a long day of swimming, because everything could be so much different from one decision to the next. And how it all comes together is pretty crazy. So the book had a pretty profound impact on how I was, you know, observing my day to day. And it's pretty funny for like a sci-fi thriller uh, to feel that way about it. But I did. I genuinely had felt pretty moved by the book. As far as like total pages, I think it's like right at 360. You will rip through this thing. I can't recommend it enough. So I was having like a slump, I think, like a reading slump, like just not getting that, I guess, reader's high, story high that you get when you finish a really good book and you're like, man, that was awesome. I was missing that. I read Chernobyl. I did not get that with Chernobyl, even though I enjoyed it and I thought it was good. I didn't get that. I definitely didn't get it with Doohickey, which I thought was a miss from Stephen King, and it was my least favorite Stephen King. Before that, I can't even remember what we were reading, but just haven't had that feeling in a long time about like it being a really good book. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch is absolutely awesome. Um, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this one a solid 9.5. If you're looking for a fun read, something that reads fast, something that will grip you and have your attention the entire time, also has like really good insight into being present. And not only that, like if you like that multiverse scientific stuff, Blake Crouch does an awesome job of breaking this down for you to where you can understand it and it's not like over your head. You don't need to be an astrophysicist to understand the concept of the multiverse. How they access it is really cool. It's just a really good original story. It's badass. I really enjoyed it. 9.5. I don't give out tens. I think I did. I think I gave it a 10, but that's because that was like mind blowing. So there it is. Dark Matter, Blake Crouch. If you're wondering what to read, please go read it. You won't be sorry. If you're sorry, you can tell me in the comments. If you didn't like the book, tell me in the comments. I'd love to know why you didn't like it because I thought it was great. It's not supposed to be like a all-absorbing like so don't give me that and come at me with some like 1500s literature that's better because no shit. It's a fun read. and I think it was created to be a fun read. So what to read next? It's going to be hard to follow that up. But I've got two. I ordered two books, and I don't know which one I'm going to start first. I might read a couple pages of each to see which direction I want to go in. I really enjoy the science fiction kind of thing, so I might read Red Rising. Um, it's on the way; it'll be delivered today. But everybody talks about Red Rising. They talk about what a good science fiction series it is. So I ordered it. I'm going to check it out, and I might read it. The other book that I ordered is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino. And this is the novel. So if you've seen the movie, that's great. It's a good movie. I am an absolute sucker for anything to do with the 60s and anything to do with the Manson family drama, the Sharon Tate, LaBianca murders, anything to do with that stuff. I get real nerded out. And for some reason, just obsessed with it if it gets popped up. I read Chaos. I actually have that book review on here by Tom O'Neill. If you haven't checked out the book review, definitely check it out. If you're considering reading it, read it. If you like the 60s, read it. If you like CIA government drama conspiracies, read it. If you like the Manson family stuff, read it. Chaos. I can't recommend that one enough as far as nonfiction. It's masterpiece. Tom O'Neill took 20 years to write that book. So, um, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I mean, I think I watched the movie and then I didn't know if I was going to read the book. Um, they say that the book has a bunch of different stories that wasn't in it, so it should be interesting. And Quentin Tarantino has a pretty, unique spin on his movies, so I figure maybe the writing is okay. It doesn't seem that long either, so we might be able to rip through it pretty quick. It's only like it's 320 pages, so we could probably rip through it in a week, or we're gonna do Red Rising. So we'll see what direction we go in. But back from vacation, back to work tomorrow. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to put this video together and tell you if you see it, this is one of the ones. There's 42 videos I've put up here. Some of these books I highly recommend and I go nuts for. Others I'm like, it's a great book. You should read it. Consider reading it. Read this one. Take a break from whatever you've been reading and pick it up. I can't endorse it enough. Solid 9.5. There's other Blake Crouch novels out there. Recursion is another one that gets highly recommended. There's also another one about like DNA. I can't remember what it was called now, but it's a really good one too from the descriptions. So I'll probably end up picking one of those up, and then we'll probably jump back into a Stephen King and see if my Doomakey hangover is gone. As always, there's no script here. I drank too much coffee this morning, drove 4 hours back home. I then dropped the kids off, picked up groceries, came back, was still feeling pretty caffeinated, so drank a recess to come down and knock out a book review. If you like the content, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Let me know what you thought about the book if you've read it or any of the books that I mentioned. If you have some suggestions, please let me know because I watch other booktubers. I search the internet and always looking for a good read. So, as always, thanks for stopping by. Keep reading. Talk soon.